Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/Tales of Neckbeard because, well, Nice Guy stories and Neckbeard stories didn't exactly perform that well. So, you know what, hopefully this is the last one of the storytime format videos that can still be made in the near future. And in case you want to see more videos like this in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on those notifications, and definitely help the algorithm. It makes my day every time I see a video do well. But let's get into this. Our first story comes to us from username Shauna SR Star. My best friend dated a neckbeard and he turned her into a legbeard. After listening to Redx on YouTube tell neckbeard and legbeard stories, it made me remember a time back in high school I mostly repressed until now. I was a freshman, and because of constant bullying and social anxiety, I didn't have many friends. I made one friend, let's call her Belle, because like in Beauty and the Beast, she eventually ended up tangled up with a monstrous neckbeard I'll call Beastbeard, but instead of her love turning him into human, he turned her into a monster too. Belle wasn't conventionally attractive and a little overweight, but she groomed herself properly, and her looks didn't matter because she was the kindest and most empathetic person I've ever met. We became friends when she defended me from some girls who bullied me pretty regularly because I was too scared to fight back because I thought it'd make things worse. Belle was bullied too, but she had a sharp tongue and it didn't make her an easy target. When we started talking, I found out she liked all of the same video games I did at the time, like Kingdom Hearts and The Sims, and she liked the same books like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. We started spending the night at each other's houses, watching animes together, like no matter how I look at it, it's your guys' fault I'm not popular, aka Watamore, because both felt like we could relate with the main character so much. Everything was great. I had a wonderful best friend who was loyal and kind, and she was one of the very few people I felt really connected with. Then Beastbeard came along. He just appeared out of nowhere, and after never talking to her once, just confessed he had been watching her and following her in school from a distance for a while, and he loved her and wanted to be her boyfriend. To most people, this would come off as super creepy, but we had both just started the Twilight series, and therefore equated stalking with romance because we were naive freshmen who had never had boyfriends. This guy was beyond gross looking and smelled like BO pretty strongly as far as nearly 7 feet away, and he was easily 300 pounds. He had his nails painted black, and he was always decked out in trip pants and anything else he could blow money on in Hot Topic. One thing that irked me right away was that when he made his confession, he nearly steamrolled over me like I wasn't even there. Like I said at the time, neither of us got male attention often, so she accepts his offer to be his girlfriend. At first, it seemed like he adored her. They spent every minute together. He gave her ridiculously expensive gifts right away. I missed her, but she seemed happy. In less than a month, his facade fell apart. Beastbeard became incredibly verbally abusive. He called her fat while constantly urging her to eat the same massive amounts of fast food he consumed for every meal. And it seemed like he was trying to systematically make her fatter to keep insulting her and make sure she felt so bad about how she looks she wouldn't leave him, and he made sure to drill in her head that nobody else would want her like he did. On top of not being attractive at all, he had a garbage attitude. If you had any different opinions from him or wouldn't bend to his will, he'd throw a massive tantrum. My friend would soon be irreparably broken by this walking dumpster fire. This is getting kind of long, so there's enough interest. I'll continue this story later. Thanks so much for reading if you made it this far. Yeah, the unfortunate part about a lot of relationships like this, people usually sometimes will throw around the phrase, "you're not like this," when we started dating, because you shouldn't be going all gung-ho from the get-go if you aren't able to keep that up, because that's not you from the beginning. I'm pretty certain the official term was called the honeymoon phase, where you try so hard to make sure that it works that you go against your morals, and basically you become somebody who you really aren't. So when that whole phase ends, and then the real you is there, then that's where the whole he changed, then not the same kind of bit comes up. Probably why it's not the best idea to do the 5-star restaurant right from the get-go. Like, just do something that is well within your budget for dates. Just do something that is like something you'd be up for doing again, for sure. Our next story comes to us from username Quicker Quokka. Asian neckbeard calls me fat and then proceeds to stalk me and threaten my friend. First post, and I'm on mobile, so please don't be mean, lol. I'll attach pics of some text he sent in a link at the end of the post. This story started last year in my first year of university, and I decided, why not entertain some people of Reddit? If this doesn't belong here, I apologize. Cast is me, 19-year-old female university student in first year of university. Neckbeard, NB, 6'3", lanky, wispy beard from China, here as an exchange student, which is why some of his grammar isn't great. Male friend is K, female friend is I and R. So, I met NB in a club. Legal age of drinking is 18 here. I was looking around the crowd, and he is pretty tall, and I'm pretty tall for a girl at 5'9", so we both stand out. We make brief eye contact, and, of course, he takes this as a sign that I'm interested. So he makes his way across the dance floor, and I just danced with him because he told me he came alone, and I felt bad for him. We kissed a bit, but he was terrible, so I quickly stopped that. And just like that, I gained a second shadow. Wherever I went, he followed. I tried to lose him a couple of times. Once by going to the bathroom, he just waited outside for me to come out. And a second time by leaving the club to meet up with my friends who had already left at McDonald's. However, no matter how many hints I gave him, he followed me to the McDonald's. I was pretty drunk and he is a tall dude, but very lanky and nerdy looking, so he wasn't intimidating at all. The weirdest part of the night is when my Uber pulls up outside. He tries to get in the car with me. Even when I had said goodbye to him several times, I literally had to push him out and close the door. Unfortunately, NB found me on Facebook. He sent me a friend request, and stupidly, I accepted it. I rationalized that I was pretty drunk, so maybe I got the signal mixed up, and he was innocent enough. Nope. Over the next couple of weeks, NB repeatedly tries to get me to meet with him. One week, when he was out of town, he saw that I was out with friends in a pub crawl. When he texted me, I confirmed that I was drinking. So he sends me an address and tells me to go and crash there for the night. Like, what? As if I would go to this random address because he told me to. This was a sign of what's to come. Eventually, I agree to meet him for dinner just to give him one last chance. Stupid, I know. It was so awkward, and I left as soon as I could. Now, this is where it gets interesting. NB texts me the next day telling me I need to lose weight, which is true, I am overweight, but out of place for him to say. I tell him to F off, and that he can't tell me what to do, which sounds B, but he had gotten onto my last nerve. He tries to backtrack, but I just tell him that I don't want to see him again. He tells me to calm down and to think it through, and that it's not a joke, LMAO. He also tells me that we need more time for our relationship to develop before I make a big decision like this. Calls me a good girl, gross, and to stop arguing and wasting our meaningful time as it will accelerate the breakdown of our relationship, WTF. And it also said that we were obviously Valentines, and that kiss is serious, not a game. Also said accused me of cheating him, saying if you weren't interested in me, why you approached me, even kiss me, naked cheating. Keep in mind English isn't my first language, so that's why these kinda don't make sense. NB was also kind enough to inform me that love is not a drama, very serious. Love can't tell a lie, and it needs to trust so it can develop forever. Yep, I wish I was lying. Literally takes hours to reject him before I gave up and blocked him. I was just so glad I paid for the dinner for the both of us so he couldn't claim I used him for a free dinner, but at least I thought that was the end. Oh boy, was I wrong. NB then finds one of my friends' info and complains that I didn't put in effort to my appearance since I didn't wear makeup to that dinner, and I was late by 1 minute. He then tries to get my number through them, which failed, thank God. However, he finds my Instagram. I have no idea how, it's not linked with my Facebook or anything, and DMs me saying how sorry he is and that he's caused unforgettable hurt, so I block him there too without replying, as I know there's no reasoning with him. All is good for a while, until I go clubbing with my friends. Long story short, NB shows up, stares at me for half an hour, then when my male friend Kay leaves to get a drink, he tries to make his way over to me. I go get Kay, and he tells NB to back off. NB tries to get Kay kicked out of the club by the bouncer, but fails. Proceeds to wait for us to leave, and then leaves with us and threatens Kay, saying he's better not catch him out again. A few months later, I'm starting my second year of university, and there's a party at the university for orientation week. I go with a group of friends, M and R being my closest friends who knows everything that went on with NB. Of course, after being at the party for 20 minutes, who else but NB is there, by himself as always, staring at me. I start freaking out as he seems to get more violent every time I see him, and I don't want to ruin the night for my friends. M and R see him and immediately know who he is. They get the whole group, 8 people, to move to a different area, and keeps an eye out for him the whole night. I love them so much for this. Apparently, when I went to the bathroom, he tried to follow me in, but the guys in the group stopped him and basically threatened him to leave me alone. And that is the last I've seen him. Anticlimactic, I know. Sorry. It's always good to go out with a group of friends because, you know, you can each keep each other perfectly fine. And honestly, yeah, a lot of people draw the line at being followed into the bathroom, and probably long before that. And it really honestly does suck when you have people that are this old, yet they still don't understand what the word no or please don't do that means. Because seriously, how stupid do you have to be to not understand a 2-letter word? But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and to see more videos like this in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.